Digging around out here in the shed looking for some lifters. I found a fairly new manual fuel pump that I could have used on my S10 instead of buying one and having to wait to get it. What's going on, everybody? So I've been looking for some lifters this morning, a day or so after tearing the S10 apart. I found these. They've been soaking in some oil, and I found some more in the shed, but I'm going to use these since they've been soaking in oil. And they say you're not supposed to swap lifters from one cam to another cam or another motor and all that stuff or whatever, but this is what I got, it's what I'm working with, so it's what I'm doing. Oh, and then JB weld for the carburetor. Seems like it's holding pretty good. I just got to smooth that out so the gasket is sealed. Alright, so I'm going to pull all the rockers off and get all the old lifters out, and then put the old new ones in, or the new old ones in, whatever you want to call them. Alright, so got all the lifters out here. I guess they're comp brand lifters, I don't know. I know it's a comp cam in the motor, unless they bought the lifter and cam separate. But the ones I got going in it are either the cheap Summit Racing brand or Lanati. I don't know which one, but it's one of them. Got all the new old lifters in. Now I just gotta fix up my intake gasket on each end. I'll leave these on here, stick it back together. Well, I done fooled around and let it get dark on me again, but put the push rods in there real quick. I was gonna call it quits right here, but I think I'm gonna at least put the rockers on and see how far I can get at least anyhow. Get the valves adjusted maybe. Done for the night. I did at least get the rockers all adjusted and they're ready to go. Well, it's the next evening here. It's already getting dark on me. I do other stuff during the day, work on other junk, and then in the evening times I work on my stuff for a little bit. But anyway, I'm gonna work on getting the intake on, carburetor and all that stuff, ignition, get it all together and see if I can get it started up tonight. But as long as I don't have any issues, I should have it running here pretty soon. Got the intake on, about to install the distributor. I figured I'd do a little rundown on how I do that, in case anybody's wondering how to put a distributor in a small block Chevy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spin the motor over and watch the valves here on the number 1 cylinder. This is the first one on the driver's side. I'm gonna wait for the exhaust valve to open and close, and wait for the intake valve to open and close. Take 2. What the fuck? Take 3. Got it. Alright, here we go. I think I've got it fixed. Exhaust open. Intake open. Okay. Intake valve's about closed, so what I'm gonna do now is turn it over by hand. That way I don't pass it up by turning it over with the starter. So there's my timing tab and the little line. It's grooved into the converter. It's right in there. It's hard to see on the camera, but it's coming up. And what I'm gonna do is put it on 0 on my timing tab. Another way to know you're on the number 1 compression stroke with doing a little valve deal is pull the plug out and hold your finger over the plug. And as it's coming around, it'll blow your finger off if it's on a compression stroke, or it'll at least be a decent amount of pressure. Now, this distributor has this gear on it that lines with the cam, and you also got the oil pump shaft that's got to go in there. So you want this rotor button deal with a little pointer thing looking thing on it. You want that pointing basically at number 1. It feels a little tight. Alright, I got it sitting in there. As you can see, I got that gap right there. It's because it's not all the way in with the oil pump shaft. But I got it pointing at number 1. And I got the gears meshed together. And I still got plenty of adjustment to do the timing. So all I'm gonna do now is just turn the motor over by hand, or I could probably bump it with a starter, but I'm just gonna do it by hand, and it should fall right in there. I'm about to do this by starter. So much is hard to get to. There it goes. Alright, I just turned it over. Done the exhaust open, intake closed, just to verify that it's on number 1 on compression. There you go. You can see it's pointing right at number 1. And all you gotta do is put your cap on and put your wires on. Got my distributor tightened down enough where I can adjust it, but also where it won't move. So I'm gonna go ahead and wire this thing up, put the carburetor on, and set the valve covers on, hook gas line, all that good stuff up, and then we'll see if it'll start. Alright, I think I got everything ready, which that's what you always think, and then you end up don't, but I think I do. So I'm gonna put some gas in the bowl of the carburetor, fill it up so it already has fuel in it, see what happens. Got me a little bottle here made up to pour gas in the carb with in the bowl without getting it everywhere. Gas looks a little bit old, just in case, because I'm still pretty good at making messes. Doing that always makes a first start on something so much easier instead of just sitting there pouring gas. You go ass in there over and over trying to get it to start and stay running when you can just fill the bowl up real quick. Alright, fire in the hole. See if I fucked up. Well, I say, it always makes that first start so much easier. Crazy how good this thing's running. I haven't even revved it up anything or nothing, and that's obviously a cold start. Haven't adjusted the timing, haven't adjusted the distributor, the carburetor. This thing ain't never ran this good, especially on a cold start. I bet that thing being broke on the carburetor out there was making it suck air before. Those lines always real cold nature. I don't hear that ticking anymore. All I got over here is a header leak. This header right here needs a new gasket on it. It leaks pretty bad. Putting that distributor in the way I did it, and pre-filling the bowl up with gas, and then just squirting a little bit in there, helps every time with the first fire up. It don't always go that smooth and start right up and run good like that, but most of the time it does. Alright, valve cover's got to be bolted down, but I'm going to pull them back off real quick since it's easy. Double check my rockers, adjust the timing, adjust the idle on the carb, and call her good. So went over the rockers, a couple of them was loose, tightened them up, valve covers back on, tightened my headers up, they were a little bit loose, so the gaskets probably are blowed out where they was loose at. But it's all back together now and running pretty good. I thought I had it all back together, but somehow I forgot to put this bracket back on, so that's what I'm doing now, and then it'll be all back together. Bracket on, now it's all officially back together. Just got that header leak, but as far as lifters and rockers and all that, it sounds good, no ticking and tapping. But I'm gonna end this video right here. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to. Stay tuned for more. I'm gonna be working on the Chevelle next since I got all the parts today. Yeah, stay tuned later.